You guys sure about this?
Yeah, whatever.
You put these kids in real danger.
Wait! We need to stick together!
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my new Green Lantern trailer video. They just teased another new Green Lantern being minted by Alan Scott's old Green Lantern battery, so we'll break it down. There's a bunch of Easter eggs that get into what's going on with Green Lantern in the larger DC universe, the stuff that they're doing in the Arrowverse with the Green Lantern characters, the stuff that's happening with the HBO Green Lantern, and then the Justice League Snyder Cut version of the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. So I'll explain everything that's going on, because believe it or not, there is still a big Green Lantern Corps movie that DC is planning on making. I've also gotten a lot of questions about what's going on with the mysterious janitor who everyone thinks is Dr. Fate. I think it's a good guess, so I'll talk about him at the end of the video too.
Careful. There are dragons in the water.
If you're not familiar with Alan Scott's backstory in the comics, he became a Green Lantern in a very different way from, say, like Hal Jordan, John Stewart, the other modern-day Green Lantern Corps members. The reason why the Green Lantern battery is glowing is because the Starheart has recognized its next user. That means that the show is just teasing that we're going to find out who this next Green Lantern is going to be. I have a lot of theories about that because of the way that they're selecting the new members of the modern-day Justice Society. But the whole idea here is that this battery is actually made from the Starheart, an experimental weapon developed by the Owens that then came to planet Earth as a meteorite, was found in ancient China, someone fashioned a lantern battery around it, then the original Green Lantern that you saw during episode 1, they teased him here, but we haven't actually seen him walk past the camera yet. Alan Scott found this lantern battery, and because the Starheart is this sentience, it told him how to fashion his own Green Lantern ring from the battery, and then that's how he became a Green Lantern. So whereas modern-day Green Lanterns have to go back to Oa, to the main power battery, to recharge their rings, Alan Scott uses this lantern battery to recharge himself. Cool Easter egg from the Justice League Snyder Cut, too. This is actually sort of tying things to the movies. So if you remember the Green Lantern from the big Darkseid War flashback, that's Yalan Gur. He was the Green Lantern of Earth's sector about 2,000 years ago. When he died, his body was so powerful that he was taken back to Oa, and his body became part of the Starheart, so his body is part of what powers this lantern battery here on the TV show. Jeff Johns did tease that they are going to do a version of Green Lantern on the show, just like they're doing new versions of all these characters like the new Hourman, the new Stargirl, all the other new characters. But here's the thing, in a lot of cases, the new members of the Justice Society that are taking up the mantle of these old heroes are sometimes their children, sometimes they're not their children. But in the case of Alan Scott Green Lantern, he does have biological children that are part of previous TV Justice Society stories. One of them is Obsidian, he was a boy. The other one was Jade, a girl. Obsidian was featured on Legends of Tomorrow during Season 2. He was actually played by Lance Henriksen, so it was a much older version of the character. Most of the bigger Jade comic book stories were during the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern era, when he became the main version of Green Lantern. But the whole concept with this Justice Society TV show is that a lot of the Justice Society members had secret families with children who they didn't tell their secrets to, so you have a lot of kids growing up not knowing that their parents were famous superheroes. Most of these Justice Society artifacts that they stole from the Hall of Justice are either alive or they have magical properties, so they can sense when their next user is nearby, like Hourman's hourglass starts glowing when it comes near his sun. So that's why the Green Lantern battery is glowing. It senses that the next Green Lantern is somewhere nearby, and it's probably, early prediction, going to be Jade. We haven't seen her on the TV show as far as we know. She could just be a background character. The way Jeff Johns talks about it, it sounds like he has bigger Green Lantern plans on the TV show for next season, but they haven't been renewed for Season 2 yet. All they've really said about the HBO Green Lantern series is that it's not going to be connected to a lot of the Arrowverse stuff. It'll be more connected to what's going on in the future DC movies. It'll be super big budget. They'll be doing a version of Hal Jordan, John Stewart, and Sinestro, and it'll cover a couple different time periods. Early prediction, that's just because they want to do Hal Jordan's backstory, they want to do Sinestro's backstory, which obviously takes place way further in the past from Hal Jordan's backstory, but they also want to do John Stewart's origin story, which takes place a long time after Hal Jordan's origin story. They didn't say how many episodes it's going to be, but because they're spending so much money on it, I'm assuming it'll only be 6 to 8 episodes per season. But it does sound like it will run for multiple seasons. It's not going to be just a single miniseries. They haven't said much about what's going on with the Green Lantern Corps movie right now, but they're still making it. It sounds like most of their attention, though, has shifted to this HBO Green Lantern series temporarily. The Justice League Snyder Cut does have a version of Hal Jordan in it. He was being played by this actor, Sam Benjamin. We don't know exactly what was happening with his character. He wasn't a huge part of the movie, but it sounds like we'll see him again during the Justice League Snyder Cut next year. Hopefully, they'll find a way to work him into the trailer. Then you have all the Arrowverse Green Lantern stuff that they teased in the Arrow finale and Crisis on Infinite Earths. Diggle got a Green Lantern ring. He actually showed the behind the scenes for this. It was just a glowing green light in a box. DC said that they had very specific rules that would allow them to use this Green Lantern scene. In this finale scene, Diggle is busy moving his family to Metropolis, where Superman lives. They're doing the Superman TV show next year. So even if Diggle isn't going to be a main character on the new Superman TV show, it sounds like they'll handle all the follow-up Diggle Green Lantern stuff on the Superman TV show, which makes sense. I mean, it's one of the biggest ticket items that you have in the DC universe. We haven't done a lot of Green Lantern stuff in there so far. Why wouldn't you do it on your biggest new show? In this trailer footage, you also probably notice as they're trying to form their new version of the Justice Society, they're fighting Sportsmaster, his wife, Tigress, but you don't see Artemis anywhere. There is a version of Artemis that's a member of this high school. They'll probably give her an origin story sometime later this season or in season 2. Most of you know those characters from Young Justice, because Artemis was such a big character during that series, especially during Young Justice Season 3, just sitting there waiting for Wally West to appear out of the Speed Force. I know those of you that are big Young Justice fans, they are making Young Justice Season 4. There'll probably be an announcement about that at the big DC Fandome Comic-Con later this summer. As for the big Dr. Fate scene that everyone's asking about, everyone saw the scene of the janitor. He tells the new Dr. Midnight, beware, there are dragons in the water, which sounds like a very Dr. Fate thing to say, but he's just this senile-looking old janitor that sounds like he's talking crazy. Obviously, we know that's not true. This is a comic book show. He's speaking in riddles for a reason. When he says there are dragons in the water, it's a reference to the Injustice Society, who are running a brainwashing program in Blue Valley called Project New America. Is their very insidious plan to slowly take over America. If you remember the way they used Dr. Fate on the Smallville TV show way back in the day, you saw that when he wasn't wearing the helmet, he was actually kind of senile, and he didn't really become Dr. Fate, get his wits about him, until he put the helmet back on and fused with the spirit of Naboo.
Please, Naboo, don't whisper too loudly. Don't show me what could be or not be. Fate is a fickle thing.
So my guess is that this old man is just a plant from the Justice Society here to keep an eye on the Injustice Society, most of them who are hiding in plain sight as members of the faculty in the school. The Helmet of Fate is still back at the Hall of Justice, so I'm guessing we probably won't see a ton of Dr. Fate stuff either till towards the end of the season or maybe not till season 2, but they'll probably pay off that Easter egg sometime before the end of the season. But everyone, let me know in the comments, what do you want them to do with the new version of Green Lantern that they just teased they're introducing on the show, and what do you want them to do with the Dr. Fate character? There are also rumors that they're going to do a Justice Society movie based on the version of the team that they're doing inside the Black Adam movie, but we'll see how that winds up going. We haven't even seen the Black Adam movie yet. Everyone, click here for my new Justice League Snyder Cut trailer video and Easter eggs, and click here for my new Star Wars Mandalorian video about the Darksaber and Mark Hamill's secret cameo scene. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.